oversight of PDP being right there, neck and neck, they are going to continue their corruption. They will find reason to throw away the rope. The rope will not be investigated. I don't even know what that's all about. So we will spend about 10 minutes and see if you guys can explain to me what this rope thing is all about.
First of all, I don't know if anybody ever been on a zip line. It's not a rope.
Right?
It's not a rope.
Cable.
So yes, it is a cable. And it's several cables. And
mechanically and electronically used.
Exactly. And we already see that there's huge lack of accountability within that party. We would be giving them more rope to hang ourselves if we leave them there with nobody to oversee what they are doing. We need accountability. Tobagonians deserve to find out where their money is being spent. It's bad enough we got no accountability for Ring Bang. And it's shameful that he could even come up on TV and make any kind of statement when he still have not accounted.
And
how many years later is this? Because Ring Bang happened when I was in my first year of high school. That thing that's still up there. First year of high school. We still have gotten no answers. Is it going to be another 20, 30 years to Begonians before you get accountability on this so-called rope? Who spends that kind of money on a piece of rope?
Explain the Ring Bang thing a little bit.
Well,
Keino saying something?
The Ring Bang was the whole thing with Mr. Charles, Hochoy Charles, which was about 20 years ago. And I mean, I value every ideas and opinion everyone brings to the table. But I'll tell you something. People have to know when to gracefully exit the stage. And in our culture, we really don't know how to gracefully exit the stage. And I think this is going to go down in history. Yes. Okay? It's going to go down in history, and whether or not we like it, and I know we're not going to be around in 100 years, we're not going to be around in 1,000 years, but this moment in time is going to be remembered in history for all of eternity. And we must know where we want to fall on that. I must know how I want history to remember me. Tracy Davidson Celestin must know how she wants history to remember her. And right now she has damaged her complete brand because of her disrespect and her ability not to be accountable. It's not okay. It's not okay.
What I have to add to what you saying, Keino, and add to what everyone here else is saying, Avanell and Jo-Anne, and what the audience responding to, is that the people vote for change.
That's right.
The people want change. It is not as before. So I wonder if my goddaughter know just one little piece of this. There's an army rising up. To do what?
To break
every chain. To break every chain. To break every chain. So the army that rose up, God ain't gonna take up all these brilliant, look you know, all these brilliant-minded young people, bring them up to face Tobago. Bring them up to face the evil forces of Tobago. For a joke. God don't make joke. God is more serious than a deadly heart attack. And this is not a joke. So let me tell Tracy Davidson Celestine, my cousin, and let me tell all these PNM people there. This PNM woman here say, there's an army rising up to break every chain. to break every chain, to break every chain, to break every chain. The chain that binds us as slaves.
Question.
Shut yourself. Yes, hold up, cause the chain that bounded us, our foreparents, God bring these young people behind Watson Duke and Brother Farley and Sister Faith B. Israel to make the change that we need. And there isn't anybody is going to stay within their cultic mafia system and take this chance away from the people of Tobago. In go walk. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth in the PNM party. You guys better get down and get out. You guys are not repenting. Guys are not repentful, and Jehovah reigns. Who was about to talk? Jo-Anne? Take it.
Just a question that's been flashing up about, do you think that justice is possible in Tobago? Where was the seed of corruption planted and how it can be rooted out? Well, I think justice, is it possible? I think if we get a change, yes, it is possible with the type of people in the PDP party going forward. I think given the opportunity, we will see that justice will become possible. Yeah. And where was the seed of corruption planted and how can it be rooted out? Well, again, it's going to have to be change, breaking the chains and having change. And wherever the seed was planted, we have to find it. And together, we try and root it out. That's the only thing. And I think we have a good chance with the PDP party. But obviously, as the situation stands, it may not be what we want. But I think as they are leaders in their actions, maybe the others will follow. And we can have a better Tobago as a result.
We want everyone in our audience to know and to share this live. Let them know that the people vote for justice. And justice has to prevail. Some people have to go to jail. We're not going to give up on that money and be merciful unto them. There shall be no mercy when it comes to the resources that were stolen from the people of Tobago. Keino, take it away. Taxpayers' money.
To even go further into the to the question, I believe politics for me is a very, very spiritual thing. Okay,
it is.
Who governs the nation is a very spiritual thing. And I'm going to turn your attention to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1. And it says, Jeremiah was a child. And chapter 1, verse 7 said, but the Lord said to me, do not say I am a child. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you.
Don't be afraid of their faces.
Not be afraid of them, for I am with you and I will rescue you, declares the Lord. Now, then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, now I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, destroy and overthrow and to build and to plant. And whatever it is, I'm letting them know that PDP is not no jokey party. It has serious philosophical foundation and it has a deep spiritual orientation. And they have been preaching this message of justice. So they're here and we're here to uproot. We're here to uproot corruption and we're here to plant a spirit of peace and excellence so that Tobago can rise up and Tobago can start giving birth to its full potential. And we're here to overthrow as well. So that's the answer that I have for the question. I don't like to go down that path a lot, but I just had to share that there with you today.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Today, as we take the book of Jeremiah, we take the words and we give God thanks and praises for all the prophets before who leave us now with such tremendous and powerful words. Those words are what I use to deliver me when I start speaking in tongues and no one knew what I was saying. I was scared to death. I thought I was dying. I didn't know what to do. I had a young baby in my belly, just few months, and then I said, what is this? What is this? People say I'm dying. People say I'm dying in 4 days, and I am still here. My son is 30-something years of age, and to see Keino bring this doctrine, behold, don't be afraid of their faces. So I am not afraid of anybody, not even Keith Rowley. He could come up in Tobago, and he could go in Trinidad, and he could be blasphemous, claiming that he belonged to a Sicilian mafia, and he has secret. Well, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. So I am afraid of people who believe that they are in secret places, if they're not in the secret place of the Most High God, Jehovah Jireh. We have another question, people. Well, we can go on this one forever. But let us take the other question. Keino Jo-Anne Avanell, what is your opinion of Dr. Denise Soyafat Angus' role in the recent THA election? If you guys don't know her role, she ran independent, and she told me that she did it because she was forced to by the PNM Council.
Okay, go on, Avi.
I said it to him because there was no way. The way he treated her or the things that he said, that was a ruse.
Number one, she said that the things he said, he didn't say it about she. He said it about some guy and somebody else in Trinidad. Okay. But then he didn't do that, as she says. But then quite behind, he started to claim who is the best person to be the chief sec of Tobago. So she's in denial. She's trying to see if she can still force them to love her. And I'm so sad because I really respect her, and I really couldn't believe that she would let me know that she ran and she waited on Tracy or Orville or Keith Rowley to thank her for what she did to give them bagatelle.
That was a ruse. She did that to split the votes. She did that. They did that strategically to split the votes from Cutler Hall. Whatever Watson would have gotten, whatever she would, they would have gotten there. She knew she couldn't win there. She already knew she could not win, but
let me stop you again. 6 years ago, I told her, you know, people didn't know I used to. I didn't want to do this, but I have to come out. Because you see, when Keith Rowley coming out and talk about you broke the secrecy, I have to come out now. No more hiding with me and she, no conversations. I told her 5-6 years ago, you could never beat Maslin. She said, yes, she will beat Maslin. They told her that she can beat Maslin and she would be the one. Not Maslin again, Maslin not going back. But see, Denise always talking to me and she always giving credit to Orville and credit. I said, Denise, these two guys don't like you. They are using you. Yes. And they have something on you. 3 days ago, I said, Denise, what they have on you? Oh, they don't have. I said, Denise, must be something for you to be treated like this. And then she said, whatever Keith Rowley said, it wasn't about her. I said, prove it. Continue.
Then we just have to leave it. It's up to her to know.
Jo-Anne, what do you think about her behavior with what she did?
I think it's sad because if she has the interests of the people of Tobago at heart, she has her own mind. I like her to have met her here in London. They came up with, when they were with Vanilla, and I met them a few times because they wanted to meet us Tobagonians here, and really was impressed with her. And you know, but the fact is she have the goodness of Tobagonians in her heart, if she think about the people of Tobago and where we should be going, you know, she would not have allowed somebody to maneuver her into making a decision like what she did and cause the situation to occur as it has occurred. So it's up to her. She has her own mind. She's a grown, mature individual. So she is just as naughty as they are, to be honest.
After you see, with Watson, I said, Watson, why are you going into politics? That was when he alone was there with his mic. He said he received a message, a higher calling. And he said, I am ordained for this. He said, God chose me to deliver Tobago out of the hands of the vultures. I ain't asking nobody, not me. So I asked Denise, I said, Denise, why are you continuing in this? Having these people, especially people who didn't struggle as hard as you to become who you are. She said she received a message that God is choosing her to deliver Tobago. I said, excuse me, from who? You understand me? And she started to relate to me. So she said she get a calling and she has to deliver Tobago. She's the one to save Tobago. But why did you go and run in this election? Knowing the conversation about it's alleged that Maslin and her husband have close ties with Orville London concerning monies. So I don't know why she's still telling me that ain't true. And Maslin, this don't come down on Maslin. You don't know Maslin. So Keith Rowley said that he will destroy her politically. He will kill her. She has killed herself. She just committed political suicide. And she deceived the people who voted for her. Because last night, a young man, I don't know how young he is, but he's a Walcott. I'm going to post what he sent to me. Telling me that he didn't hear she did anything. And he leaves PNM in 2015 and following Denise. You listen to me good, eh? And he loves me because of how I just talk and come up. But he wants me to explain to him what Denise did and what she did on some platform. I was about to answer him. I start to answer and I write a lot. And then suddenly something tell me, don't respond in that way. And all I tell that young man, whatever you want to know from me, you ought to know. Because he's one who strongly supported, you hear me, Denise to run against Maslin. And listen to me. But I'm going to post, I'm going to call your name out. When I went into his page, he loved Faith, he loved Farley, he loved Watson, he loved everybody, he loved Zia. But yet he told me that he didn't support, are you guys listening to me, Farley and them, but he publicly have them as friends and supporting them, but he supported Denise because he wanted a common enemy of the PNM. So she pulled PNM people with she.
So
who
which
would have voted for
Farley?
Yes, they would have voted for. They would have voted for I said, why you did that? I said, you did that? She said to me, Cora, I didn't know that up front until. I said, until when? Why didn't you pull out? Me not asking nobody, not me, you know. She called me. She said, somebody tell she talk to Cora. She said she tell them Cora knows how to find me. So she called me. And I didn't play too nicey. I asked her straight up questions. I said, why Mr. Calendar hate you so much? She said, Cora, I don't know. Then she tell me other things I wouldn't disclose. I said, why the woman in Roxborough, the woman from Roxborough, Tracy Davidson Celestine, why she hate you so much? She said, Cora, I don't think it's hate. And she give me the reasons why. Yes. I didn't talk to her as if, well, because she contributed a lot. And they use her a lot. And I can't believe that she's still out there telling me now on the phone about why Farley shouldn't be chief sec and why it should be this boy that couldn't count money while he working in the bank, who they had as chief sec. He used to work in bank and used to give away real money to people until Dennis. And she called another person's name. I said, why not Farley? Why not Watson do? And she started to explain. But she said, if PNM should run again in this same election, PNM will not make it because they didn't win any seat with a majority that is substantial. So I don't know what she's doing. She want to be a scale? Well, you have to balance. Keino, speak.
Well, I thought her running as an independent, and me, I always think that people are tending to be genuine. I think she was making a step in the right direction. A lot of what I'm hearing now is news to me, but I would say something. Let's come back to this whole idea of, well, they may have something, and I want to just share a little bit about imagery. And somebody had put it up before there about, I don't know if Cindy can pull it back up, about the Cosa Nostra, the Cosa Nostra and the Italian mafia. If we understand anything about the Sicilian mafia.
Sicilian, yes.
Yes.
The Sicilian mafia. If we understand anything about the Sicilian mafia, and in order to be a quote unquote, I love watching mob movies like The Godfather and Goodfellas. I love movies and so on like that. What they do is they have to take a blood oath. Okay? So they take this blood.
I asked her about that. You know what she told me? She said, Cora, that is news to me. I took no oath and I swear to no mafia running in the PNM. She said, I would not have signed up, or I would not have done anything in my life to be part of a mafia.
So here's what. So it's not that they're going to take a literal oath, because when Dr. Rowley said that, he was doing pickung. I didn't think anyone take an oath. I don't think anyone took an oath, but it's the political culture that you bring. And if you look at the PDP is clearly establishing a political culture that is being crafted in front of our eyes. We're seeing it. We're seeing their signs. We're seeing their symbols. We're seeing the language that they're using. We're seeing the imagery that they're painting. The imagery that they're painting is people leaving slavery and coming into freedom. It's a biblical imagery. The imagery that Dr. Rowley painted of his political party was the Italian Cosa Nostra, similar to the Mexican cartel, similar to any crime syndicate organization. So if it's the imagery, if that's the imagery that you paint, I know they didn't take a blood oath, okay, but it's the imagery. I don't know. I don't know. But it's the imagery that they painted. And if you come on a political platform and say, yeah, we's a Cosa Nostra, and Cosa Nostra means our thing. What exactly is our thing? Okay, is it just your PNM family thing? Well, to everybody else, that's discrimination. To everybody else, that's victimization. Okay, if that is all your thing.
It's also seditious.
Yeah. Yes.
No, but also it leads me to say, well, what are the types of activities that the mafia engage in? Lack of accountability, things like extortion, racketeering, they're crime syndicate. And then if you put that up with the zipline story where you don't want to account and you telling people to hush their mouth, yes, that's what you are. You are a political crime syndicate. That's the imagery you painted. It's sticking. and it not coming off until
you're not-
you do better.
You're not giving
it's
Keino
not
a round
gonna
of
stick.
applause?
Yes.
You're not giving Keino a
Yeah.
round of applause to break that up and bring
I
it
done.
back?
I
You
done.
hit the nail. You hit the
You
nail.
hit the nail, that's it.
Yes.
All right. There's something that's been popped up all the time. It's about the reason why there is no clear rule for a 6-6 tie is because the initial design of the THA was that it should be a coalition executive led by elected representatives. Keino, do you want to?
Keino, you
So-
know about that?
Okay, so what I would say, here's what I would say. I would say, in terms of our Tobago culture, I think that we always have to look at the intent of the framers. And even with the term chief, that term chief comes out from, that's an African term, okay,
Yeah.
or an indigenous term.
Which
And it
is right.
leads to it's like the Tobago House of Assembly should be looked as a council of elders. Okay, I don't even think that the 12 represent.
Do you know chief wasn't the first word?
Well,
It was
chairman was
chairman.
it was
Chairman.
chairman, but I think chief really speaks the whole idea of our African culture and the
No.
whole
Our
idea.
heritage.
And our heritage and bringing consensus building. Okay,
Yes.
so we would come together around this forum and then we would create consensus. Because if you look at who we are, our culture and our heritage say that we're a small island and we are one family. And what a family does, a family comes to a place of consensus for the benefit of the family.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
And
I would be careful when I'm using family, because family is part of mafia also.
well,
Family,
yes,
you understand what I mean?
but the Tobago family, we are connected in Tobago. We're connected in terms of being related. And
That's right.
I think it should be the type of leadership. If you go to like a tribal African village, it's based on consensus. And I think that's what they were trying to probably capture in the creation of the House of Assembly, that where we can come to a consensus for the best development of the island, a decision that's going to benefit everybody, not just somebody and just some people.
Exactly.
When Robinson chose the word chairman, it was intentional. There was a strong meaning behind chairman. And when people start to steal and doing madness, they decide to always rebrand the Tobago House of Assembly, rebrand offices, rebrand who in charge of here and where, so that Orville could always believe if there is enough money in Tema, I am going to take over Tema. If there is enough money, are you guys listening here now? If there is enough money in tourism, I am going to put who I want, because who I can control, like putting Tracy there for all these years. Tracy was in youth affairs first. There is where she was functioning and doing well. Then Orville started to move she around like a jigsaw puzzle in order to keep corruption in her line and in his line. Orville London wasn't in charge of housing and lands. You hear me? It was Sandy, Hilton Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
And when the money gets so big, and he recognized that he wants to operate the lands to suit himself, bring up a new term in defense of Tobago. That's what Orville did, you know. He just began to shift things. But I want him to know, and everybody else to know, that there is a God that shifts things in orbit. And it is not Keith Rowley, and it is not him. This man always come in Tobago and lay punishment on the people of Tobago. I will not forgive you if you vote for Watson Duke. People didn't go in line with him with sandals, and he got angry with the people of Tobago.
Yep.
So he start to wriggle now. He come to Tobago to drop the mafia language too, to put fear into people.
But Tobagonians are not afraid. Has he forgotten?
You see, of course he forgot.
Yep. See, that is the thing.
So now the people of Tobago should have a slogan now, Keino boy. We will not forgive you because your language of mafia we are going to watch you die by your own evil.
Well, I mean, I think that's the fear that he is placed on his own supporters, because he was talking to them because that's their thing. Cosa Nostra is their thing. So let it allow to be their thing.
No,
so
he was he was talking to them, but he was threatening the whole nation. Don't rise up against us.
Well,
we can take you out. We can have your sons being drowned, cleaning a pool. We can have all your sons being shut up, shoot down, and all kind of thing in Tobago. Tobago turned into a death zone under Orville. All these tourists that get killed and chop up and maim under Orville watch. And here now under Keith Rowley watches from the beginning, the first day of the year last year. The first day, a young man get killed right by the roundabout there in Scarborough. And he saw death of young people, because we're not understanding that evil lurks at our doors. And when you bring people into your space, they can create death. They can steal from you because they are the devil. And the mission of the devil is not to love you, not to make you happy. It's to kill, to steal, and to destroy.
To steal, kill, and destroy.
So God said, no more. I'm going to rise up this new band of people, intelligent and very intellectual, very politically balanced, new people who never get touched, new women who politics never take their clothes off, new young men who don't have to go on their faces to please a chief sec or a member of the Tobago House of Assembly. This is painful. God wants the prostitution of his women in Tobago to cease and desist with immediate effect. They don't know how many young girls prostituting for a living.
Yes.
Tobago, we have gone astray. And Mama Coco is saying, I once was lost, but now we are found. Do not waste the chance that we are given now. Our God is able, and he is able to change things according to his plan. And I can't understand why so many women still. One right up on my post there, but she got fixed because I went back on the page and I let her know something. Do not come on my page and be no mafia. Because I am already a mafia. Don't play no ninja on my page. Because it takes a ninja to get rid of a ninja. And I'm waiting for you. Do not come back. And then she get blocked. Or he get blocked. Because we can't know who we're fighting, you know. Trust me. You see this Facebook? We don't know who we're fighting. So this young man Walcott, I know you must be ashamed right now, who come up on my page, pretending to be friends with Farley, pretending to be friends with the whole PDP. But then he told me that he voted. He's one who supported and encouraged Denise to run against Maslin. You can't beat that. So I don't know who PNM members tell she that she could have beat when she own girl Cora, she family telling she, Denise, you cannot win Maslin. So Denise deceived he too. So he want to come to me. I said, don't ask me. Whatever you want to know, go to Denise, and I know you already have the answer for yourself. Nobody is mixing me up and talking about Facebook. There's a confusion. So you rather come in my inbox to talk to me personally. Don't come back. I'm not your friend.
That's a wolf in sheep clothing.
Yes, he's one of them who deceives PDP.
Wolf.
Oh, they're pretending. And I want to talk to those young people who went and asked some man, Mr. Morrison, for a PDP flag, pretending that they want the flag because they're supporting PDP. So the man said, here is a flag. You know what the young people are them from Pembroke or where they come out from tell the man, we want one from Faith. Let Faith touch it and then bring it for we. Because we're supporting Faith. Because we're living in Pembroke. That is the depth of evil. That is the depth of evil. They saw this black SUV in Goodwood Cemetery after midnight. They take picture of the vehicle. All these things people sending to me is I who don't want to talk. So ladies and gentlemen, can we have your closing statements? Starting out with Jo-Anne.
Well, it's been really an interesting evening. But, you know, part of being on this program is to help to support, even though we can't be there, I would say it's to also help to support the people of Tobago. You know, some people are not happy, I think, when we come on to this program and give our opinions. But, you know, Tobago is also our home. We still contribute to the economy. Even if we're not working there, we contribute to the economy through remittances. So if you think about all the remittances that we may send to our friends and family, it is helping to drive the economy. So that does give us a right to somehow interject into the politics of Tobago, because we want to see better for Tobago.
Yes.
And for the people who are going forward tomorrow in the House of Assembly to try and break the deadlock, I wish you well, and I hope that something positive could come out of it. As we've always stressing, 6-6 doesn't just mean a negative thing. It can be a positive thing as well. Somehow you guys have to try and work it out. You're not the only country who has found yourself in this kind of situation. Let's hope that you can work it out and we can move forward and start to drive the development of Tobago. So God bless. Thank you so much for listening to me.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have you and your contributions, because people don't know how much you give to people home. People don't know how many computers that you assisted. You even gave me a donation to buy computers for Indian family in Trinidad. Yes, an Indian family. They got a computer, they got an iPad for how much $1,000, including, what do you call the small one again?
Which one?
Tablet.
Tablet.
The tablet.
Your money bought 2 things. I just to tell people how much you send. So you do contribute. You have your families home that you will send things to. People ask for stuff. Now you're about to even give another donation for the family of 5 from St. James. You guys contribute. You guys do more for even the Prime Minister home, because I know if he has a charity. He just with Prime Minister, he's just our God. He's not my God. He's not going to forgive Tobagonians if they vote for Watson Duke. Well, Tobagonians, all you vote for him because he get licked 6-6. They didn't expect that. His charity is in the treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. There is where Keith Rowley and all these boys have their charity. So may God have mercy on all of us. Let us take closing statement from. Before we take the closing statement, let us see what Mary is saying.
Mary said, we pay taxes as well when we shop and ship things.
That is exactly Mary. Mary also lives in London, and she contributes a lot to her home. So we're hearing people say, oh, you live abroad, oh, you know, shut all your mouth. Well, no. Keith Rowley children live abroad also. Yeah? And they could come home for Christmas to see their daddy, and people out here stranded for months, more than a year, some people, and can't go back home to their family or go back home to their livelihood and to their businesses. I cannot stand deceitfulness. So, Avanell, give us your closing statement.
Sure. I always say God doesn't do things by chance, right? And Tobagonians have started a shift. A tectonic shift happens once ever so often in life. And Tobagonians have started a shift. They are tired of the inconsistencies with our government. We are tired of being stepped on and taken advantage of. And we want change.
Someone moving up. Is Keino, is you? Something making a... Yes, go ahead, Avanell.
We want change. We want to see this new day. And as Jo-Anne said, this 6-6 is not a negative, it's a positive, because this was supposed to happen. This is how God wrote it. This was for us to see the fruition of our labor. We put out our taxpayer dollars too often for them to come in and use it. That same taxpayer dollar to give you the same food card you think is theirs. It's not theirs.
Taxpayers.
It's your money.
It's entitled to it.
That paid for those food cards. You're entitled to it. It's what they should have done anyway. So don't make them think they're doing you any favors because they have done nothing for you. It's what they're supposed to do. It's what you pay taxes for them to do. Nothing they give you is free. It's your money. It's my money. It's Keino money. It's Jo-Anne money.
Hey.
And I'm going to leave it with a song.
Not yet.
Not yet. Right. Let me wait till Keino done.
Yes, and I want to say a little thing before Keino get out, and Keino will speak on it. That people out there in Tobago, PNM want people to believe that Watson is nobody. PNM people want to start the war between Watson and Farley. But what I want Brother Farley to know, that what Watson did to take a new guy like you and give you power give you that quality of power, that's a magnanimous move. And if that was in the game of draft, that would have been a huff. Hello. That would have been a huff. So I see you putting up your hand, Avanell, before Keino speak.
Before we go there, and you know, there is God that has said, don't swear for no one. But I could swear for character of two great people, right? I grew up in the same village as Farley. We took Saturday classes together. And I could attest for his character as a human being and as a young man. I also went to high school with the person they chose, Julian Skeet. Such great characters in these two young men. We would have been in great hands, in absolute great hands. And you think they don't know that? What is it with Tobago that they are afraid to see us blossom? What is it that they're afraid to show the world?
Because you're going to destroy the economy if that happens.
It will. And let me tell you something. It's something my mother does always say. The coup didn't happen by reason and chance. They went after Robinson because Robinson was going after our freedom for Tobago. The same thing with Eric William. He wanted Tobago to gain their freedom. Nothing happens by chance. Why do they not want us to make and have our own autonomy? Because they know once we do and once we are free, we will blossom. Tobago will be, they call it the look at Dubai. Tobago will be better than Dubai. Tobago will have to set precedents for all the countries because we have it in us. We have the skills, we have the people, and we have the mind. We have the mind. Nothing happens by chance. Don't let them waste us. They're taking away our education so we could dumb down for them. They teach what they want to teach you so you could dumb down for them and vote them. How are we benefiting Tobagonians? Why do they not want us to see our potential? I want to see the potential. I want to live the potential. And I'm sure everybody wants to live the potential.